And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here in studio with Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection. We're going to talk real estate. I also have a statement here I'm going to read from the National Association of Realtors relating to the mortgage rates and the real estate, the economics behind what's going on there, coming up here in just a moment. Before we do, we always like to feature a couple of real estate listings right here in Tampa Bay. 7134 Edna Avenue is another one of our real estate opportunities. This is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 720 square feet. We got multiple mobile homes for sale in Hudson. There's 3 or 4 of these that come to sold as a package. So cash buyer, cash investor looking for a rental income. This is a great opportunity for rental income. You got tenants in place. Of course, it's a very strong rental market right now. We've got established occupancy rates here. And this one's 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 720 square feet, 7134 Edna Avenue in Hudson. Prime location, income producing property, close to shopping centers, schools, and local beaches as well. Check out Edna Avenue from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 6026 100th Avenue East. This is another listing that we've got. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 3,000 square feet. Beautiful single-family home, 2-story home in Parrish, Florida. 6026 100th Avenue East, Parrish, Florida. Completely screened, oversized lanai. That's 22 by 38. You have updated bathrooms with tile and floating vanity, European sink cabinets, rock landscaping, tiled island kitchen, 2 new AC units, newer AC units with warranty, 4-foot fencing, laminate wood flooring, ceiling fans, granite countertops, and more at 6026 100th Avenue East in Parrish. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. Check it out, PlatinumCoastalElite.com. All right, we got Jay Smith in the house, A Snoop Inspection, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and a real estate expert in the area, man. What are you seeing out there, brother?
Market flattening out a little bit.
Softening market.
Yeah.
You know, we're seeing that, and then I also say, like, now's a great time to negotiate a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
You know, buyers, get out there, start shopping, start negotiating with sellers. We're seeing sellers come off a list price, give concessions. We're seeing sellers that are saying, hey, look, we realize the market's soft. We realize the interest rates are higher. We're willing to make a deal.
Sure. And especially if they're really wanting to move by the end of the year, or at that time of year where it's crunch time.
Yes.
I mean, over the next 2 weeks. I mean, honestly,
right.
It's hard to get it done if it's past that. So
yeah.
I would say now is a good time if you're looking for something. Get out there and get it done. It's going to be interesting next year. You know, hopefully we cross our fingers that rates come down a little bit.
Well,
all these people that are sitting waiting, boy, it's going to be nuts. You're almost better to negotiate now.
Yeah.
Get it done, because it's going to be a frenzy again.
But for the feeding frenzy, because there's pent-up demand on both sides.
Yes.
There's sellers that want to sell. There's buyers that want to buy. So you've got kind of a double whammy once those rates start ticking down. And here's a quote from Lawrence Young. He's the chief economist at the NAR, National Association of Realtors. He says mortgage rates are plunging with news of inflation calming. Consumer prices rose by 3.2% in September. Even with the rent component still showing a hefty gain of 6.7%, non-official private sector rent data has shown 0 to 2% rise, which, if hypothetically used in the official figures, would bring inflation down below the Federal Reserve's desired inflation target of 2%. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get inflation back down to 2%. Continuing, the interest rate rises should be over, and the Fed will have to consider cutting interest rates seriously. In the meantime, the bond market is reacting as if the Fed will be cutting interest rates next year. Mortgage rates look to head towards 7% in a few months and in the 6% range by the spring of 2024.
Yeah.
So that's NAR saying, essentially signaling to the Fed, hey, we think you should start reducing rates because of these factors. So I've been saying it for a long time. They're hurting us.
I wish I had the crystal ball to really tell me it all. But,
yeah.
I'm sure none of us really expect them to do anything in the next month or two. I mean, as far as December, January, it may just be, holding fast. I'm hoping by February, but it's still just a hope at this point. We don't know for a fact. Oh yeah, they're going to do it then.
Well, let's go back to the previous point you were making too, because November, December, you have a good opportunity to get property sold, and there's a lot of buyers the buyers that are out shopping right now during the holidays. These are earnest buyers. Yeah. These are people that want to make a deal. So they want to get the deal done before for multiple reasons. I hinted towards it there. Job transfers, school transfers. December 31 is the magic date for occupancy for primary residence, and it's also the magic date for the IRS. They want to get deals done before the end of the year in order to write down debts or however they're going to look at that with their CPA.
Yep. And literally, we're down to weeks now.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like you can wait until December 20th and make it happen. I mean, I'm not going to tell you can't make it happen.
Right.
But it's more unlikely.
Exactly. Yeah, especially if you're financing. You got all these things you're going to go through steps.
Excuse me.
Financing wise.
Also, I mean, if you're negotiating, same thing, like you're talking about. If the negotiations go back and forth, that can be several days right there.
Yeah.
And if you do want to get it inspected and all those things, it takes time. It doesn't happen in a really condensed, short amount of time.
Yep. So A Snoop Inspection, Jay Smith here in studio with me. Jay, what do you see when you have these? You mentioned the inspection process and the negotiations that happen, because a lot of times that's where savvy buyers and sometimes unscrupulous buyers, especially the investor side, they'll come in and they'll have these inspections done, and then they're going to point at every single thing and try to nitpick, and that's where you get this negotiation. What are you seeing, or have you had any recent stories that kind of come to mind with that?
Well, one thing, I mean, just the general feeling that I have, I think investors have backed off. They don't like the rates. The money doesn't make sense for them because they do want to finance them. I mean, most of your investors aren't just going, they may initially pay cash, but they want to turn around and finance it in some way. And at the rates today, the ROI isn't what they wanted. So I think investors have backed off a little bit. Until rates come back down, they'll come back into the market. Now you're back to the regular buyer.
Yep.
And I mean, they want to, like you said, they want to buy houses, but they don't want to buy a house that, hey, they got 3 years left on the roof.
Yeah.
They almost want to put that roof on now instead of in 3 years, 'cause that's a big expense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sellers have to be negotiable, but at the same time, hey, if you have 3 years left in it and it is getting in your house that you want, is the seller at least negotiable on a small amount that ends up towards that roof? Something.
Yeah.
It just goes back and forth, and it's all part of negotiating, and that's all up to you guys.
Yeah.
The realtors are doing it, and we try to give you the tools and saying, look, this is the time period this roof is there, and let you know what you got to deal with.
Yeah, yeah, and what one of the main components of getting a deal done is not only the mortgage but also the insurance. So you have these insurance companies. A lot of them have been pulling out. I've actually been doing some research on it. I came across a really interesting video that was well researched, and it broke it down. And essentially, what happened in Florida and a lot of the red states. This is very detailed, but I'll try to skim through it quickly. But you have these companies like BlackRock, these huge $10 trillion under management, assets under management, $10 trillion that are being deployed across multiple sectors, but specifically to the insurance sector. I think it was about 2%, only 2% of their holdings, which was still in the billions, multiple billions of dollars. What happened is, remember how hard DeSantis came out, and rightfully so, against a lot of the the wokeness, the ESG also is another big area, environmental, social,
which they're all for,
corporate governance, right? And that's what BlackRock's for, and a lot of these companies. DeSantis was against it, pulled the pension funds out of it. So it's essentially what's happening is that BlackRock is controlling the purse strings of a lot of these insurance companies that have now left the state. So it's the difference of, think about it, if you've got a portfolio of millions of dollars and you're going to get an interest rate loan from a preferential loan from a company like BlackRock, or an investment at 4% versus 8% or 10%, right? So they do anything they can do to be on the good side of these big hedge funds like BlackRock. And that's why you saw the Dylan Mulvaney trans kid with the Bud Light. That was them trying to cater towards and placate to BlackRock. Anyway, so hopefully I summarized that and it makes sense. But that's why a lot of red states are losing. Some of these insurance companies are pulling out because, oh no, your governor went against the overall plan here. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm hearing. And, there's a lot of nuance and detail to be added to that. But the insurance is a key component.
Well, you talking about that makes me think about, okay, BlackRock owns 10% of a neighborhood or whatever. Let's just that.
Sure.
It's not likely, but let's say they do. What are they doing about their insurance? Because they're in bed with some of the insurance companies. Do they have a special deal? Are
They're
they paying? Are they paying $1,000 a year per house that they're
Probably.
insuring? Where we have to pay $3,000? I mean, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference. The ROI, like we were talking about, in that property.
Yep.
So I don't know.
The middle income earner, the low to middle income earner, that's who's under attack in America and have been so. That blue collar worker, it doesn't matter the color, the skin, it's more of a income. So these big companies, these politicians, they're up against and going against the middle income earners, and that's what happened. That small business owner, the middle America, that's what we're fighting against here. And if you just join us, we're talking with Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection, and that's why we set this show up. It's great companies and great businesses like Snoop Inspections, A Snoop Inspection, that help us with this show, that help the programming on the program. So we want you to support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show, standing up for the small guys, the underdogs here. 727-263-3707. Any home inspections, commercial inspections, real estate inspections, 727-263-3707. And also online at consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors on the website at consumerqb.com. Jay, so we talk a little bit about the roof. Your other components are going to be major components, going to be your breaker boxes, your AC units. What else are you seeing?
No, I mean, that's the big things. I mean, it's still all down the roofs and the electrical panel. I mean, it really is every time. I mean, the recall that Square D had for 2020 and 2021, starting to see those pop up as we're doing inspections on those that were built, because those people are actually just now starting to turn over. They've only been in the house for 2 or 3 years, and now they're selling it. Did the builder come back and double check the panel? I mean, roofs is still the biggest thing. I mean, I wish I would love to see some more changes in insurance. I have my ideas on what I think they should be doing in the insurance companies that could help solve some things, but it doesn't seem like any of them are stepping up.
Yeah. New construction, real quick, we're almost out of time on this segment, but new construction, you got to make sure you have someone on your side. You got to make sure, because I think a lot of times people think, I'm just going to go with the home builder. They're going to take good care of me. I should just trust them.
Nope. No, not at all. And you got to think, in the job market today, they're taking bodies in there, and sometimes there's things being missed. Yeah. Even the county inspections say, well, the county inspector is in there. They're even promoting out there that the builders go to a third party and just have someone else sign off on it, that an engineer signs off behind them. So now you got someone out there maybe inspecting that haven't been a county inspector for years.
Yeah.
So you're thinking you're saved by the county. And then even if you had to come back on something, you're like, well, no, we didn't do that. Here's the company you got to go after. And it's not even the county. It's some other third-party institution that's taking care of those now. It depends on where you're buying, what builder you're working with, and what county you're working in.
The blame game begins.
Yep.
No, it's them. No, it's this person. And guess what? Exactly. It's on you as the homeowner to take on the time and the onus. And if you do have to hire an attorney, a lot of those rules are not in favor of the consumer.
So if you hire an inspection company, they're there for you.
Exactly. Yep, that's the way to do it. That's the way to look at it. All right, Jay Smith, final thought. Where do you want people to connect with you at, bud?
Call us at 813-345-2600. We recently passed Veterans Day not too long ago, and I wanted to make sure everyone know, any veterans that call in, we do a $50 discount on your home inspection.
Nice.
So if you're looking to do it, we'd like to give back to them. You could save a few dollars, but heck, I'll spend more time on the house and look around it. You tell me what you need, and I'll be there.
Yeah, I love it, man. Taking care of the veterans. Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection, the website?
www.a-snoop.com.
A-snoop.com. Jay Smith, longtime friend of the program. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, taking a quick break. Coming back with our security expert, Guardian Protection, Gunnar Branacki on the Consumer Quarterback Show with Guardian Protection coming up here. It's protect your home. They've got some really affordable systems that you can add on, camera systems and the doorbells and all that good stuff. Gunnar Branacki coming up here. Consumer Quarterback Show. consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.